Hey there, book lovers. Welcome to the first episode of Jack and Jill Summarize, where we break down the best books so you can enjoy the essence of these wonderful creations without spending hours reading.
That's right. Whether you're short on time or just curious about a new read, we've got you covered with entertaining and insightful summaries. Today, we're diving into the deep, dark waters of one of the greatest classics of all time, Moby Dick by Herman Melville.
Moby Dick is an epic tale of a sea captain's obsessive quest to hunt the legendary white whale, filled with adventure, philosophy, and profound symbolism.
That's right. We've got an epic summary coming your way. So grab your harpoons and let's set sail.
Call me Ishmael. With these famous opening words, the narrator introduces himself and begins his tale of adventure and tragedy. Ishmael, feeling restless and desiring a change from his monotonous life, decides to go to sea. He arrives in New Bedford, Massachusetts, a whaling town, and stays at the Spooder Inn. There, he meets Queequeg, a heavily tattooed Polynesian harpooner. Although initially frightened by Queequeg's exotic appearance, Ishmael soon forms a deep friendship with him. The two men decide to join a whaling voyage together and make their way to Nantucket, the heart of the American whaling industry. They sign up to sail on the Pequod, a whaling ship with a formidable reputation. The ship is owned by Captain Peleg and Captain Bildad, both retired whalemen who now manage the business from shore. They interview Ishmael and Queequeg and agree to let them join the crew.
The Pequod's captain, Ahab, is a mysterious and ominous figure. He does not appear at the time of their signing, but the crew soon learns of his dark presence. Ahab is a man consumed by a singular purpose: revenge on Moby Dick, the great white whale that took his leg and left him with a prosthetic made from a whale's jawbone. This obsession drives the narrative forward and sets the tone for the epic journey. Before the Pequod sets sail, Ishmael and Queequeg encounter a strange, prophet-like figure named Elijah, who warns them of the perilous journey ahead. He hints at the doom awaiting those who follow Ahab's mad quest. Despite these ominous predictions, Ishmael and Queequeg proceed with their plans. As the Pequod embarks on its voyage, the crew is introduced to its officers. Starbuck, the first mate, is a Quaker and a serious, moral man who often finds himself in conflict with Ahab. Stubb, the second mate, is easygoing and cheerful, always making light of any situation. Flask, the third mate, is short, stout, and aggressive, tackling whaling with brute force.
The ship sails through various oceans, and Ishmael provides detailed descriptions of the whaling industry, the types of whales, and the technical aspects of whaling. These chapters, rich in information, serve as an educational aside from the main narrative, immersing readers in the world of 19th century whaling. As the Pequod continues its journey, the crew encounters several other ships, each with its own story of encounters with Moby Dick. These meetings serve to heighten the tension and build anticipation for the inevitable confrontation with the great white whale. Ahab's obsession becomes more apparent as he offers a gold doubloon to the first man who spots Moby Dick, further incentivizing the crew to join him in his vengeful quest. Throughout the voyage, Ahab's monomaniacal focus on Moby Dick becomes a central theme. He is driven not only by revenge but by a profound and philosophical struggle with the whale, which he perceives as the embodiment of all that is evil and malignant in the world. Ahab's reflections and monologues reveal his complex character, a blend of charismatic leader and madman.
Among the crew is Pip, a young African-American boy who serves as the ship's cabin boy. During one hunt, Pip is left stranded in the ocean and experiences a mental breakdown. His subsequent madness and haunting presence on the ship underscore the psychological toll of the voyage and the dangers of Ahab's obsession. Starbuck, the first mate, becomes increasingly concerned about Ahab's mental state and the perilous path they are on. In a moment of tension, Starbuck contemplates mutiny, considering it his moral duty to prevent Ahab from leading the crew to destruction. However, he ultimately decides against it, unable to overcome his sense of loyalty and duty. As the Pequod nears the regions where Moby Dick is known to frequent, the crew's anticipation and anxiety grow. They encounter various omens and signs that seem to foretell their impending doom. Despite these warnings, Ahab remains resolute, his determination unshaken.
One significant encounter occurs when the Pequod meets the ship, Rachel. The Rachel's captain, desperate and heartbroken, asks Ahab for help in searching for his missing son, who was lost during an encounter with Moby Dick. Ahab, consumed by his own quest, refuses to assist, showcasing the extent of his obsession and the moral cost of his pursuit. Finally, the lookout spots Moby Dick, setting the stage for the epic confrontation. The crew prepares for the battle, their emotions a mix of fear, excitement, and dread. Ahab's obsession reaches its zenith as he confronts the whale, determined to exact his revenge at any cost.
The long-awaited confrontation with Moby Dick finally begins. The Pequod, now fully engulfed in Ahab's vengeful mission, encounters the white whale after an extended and tense period of searching. The narrative reaches a fever pitch as the crew prepares for the ultimate battle against the legendary beast. As the Pequod comes upon Moby Dick, the crew lowers the whaleboats to engage the whale. The encounter is fierce and chaotic. Moby Dick proves to be a formidable opponent, demonstrating immense strength and cunning. The whale smashes the boats with its powerful tail and resists the harpoons and lances thrown by the crew. Despite their efforts, Moby Dick escapes, leaving the crew wounded and weary but determined to continue the hunt. The following day, Ahab and the crew are resolute in their pursuit. Ahab's obsession drives him to rally the men, and they set out once more. Moby Dick's resistance is even more intense this time. The whale's attacks are relentless, and the crew faces mounting casualties and damage. Despite the growing risks, Ahab's fixation on Moby Dick remains unshaken. His monomaniacal quest blinds him to the safety and well-being of his crew, illustrating the destructive nature of his obsession.
On the third and final day of confrontation, the battle reaches its climax. The crew, exhausted and battered, engages Moby Dick in a desperate struggle. Ahab's fury is at its peak, and he is relentless in his pursuit. The whale's power and fury seem almost supernatural. The battle is both epic and tragic, with Moby Dick demonstrating an almost malevolent intelligence in its attempts to evade and retaliate. In a dramatic turn of events, Moby Dick attacks the Pequod, ramming the ship with its enormous head and causing severe damage. The ship begins to sink as chaos erupts on board. The crew's efforts to fight the whale and save the ship are in vain. Moby Dick's assault is devastating, and the Pequod is left in ruins. In the final moments of the battle, Ahab's fate is sealed. He manages to harpoon Moby Dick, but becomes entangled in the line. The whale drags Ahab beneath the surface, leading to his death. Moby Dick, despite its injuries, vanishes into the depths, leaving the wreckage of the Pequod and the scattered remains of its crew behind.
Amid the wreckage and chaos, Ishmael, the lone survivor, clings to Queequeg's coffin, which has been converted into a makeshift lifeboat. As he floats on the open sea, Ishmael reflects on the events and the nature of Ahab's quest. His survival is a testament to the randomness of fate and the vast, indifferent power of nature. Ishmael's rescue comes when the ship Rachel, which had been searching for its own missing crew, comes across him. This moment of salvation brings a poignant connection to the story, closing the loop on the narrative threads introduced earlier.
Wow, what a journey! Moby Dick isn't just a story about a whale hunt. It's a profound exploration of obsession, fate, and the human condition. Throughout this dramatic conclusion, Melville explores themes of obsession, revenge, and the struggle between man and nature. The novel's philosophical depth is highlighted through Ahab's tragic journey and the broader implications of his quest. The conflict between Ahab and Moby Dick serves as an allegory for the human condition and the search for meaning in a vast, often incomprehensible universe.
Absolutely. Melville's rich symbolism and complex characters make this book a must-read. If you love adventure, philosophical musings, and a deep dive into the psyche of man, this book is for you.
Fans of epic tales, those who appreciate detailed and immersive storytelling, and anyone fascinated by the sea and its mysteries will adore Moby Dick.
Even if you're not usually into classic literature, the themes in Moby Dick are timeless and universally relatable. It's a book that challenges you to think about life, nature, and our place in the world. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for more thrilling summaries and book adventures. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Happy reading!